Hello everyone. Today we have a sync up of Google Summer of Code Special Interest Group in the Jenkins project. We will have a discussion about what's going on in the project, what our plans for GSoC 2019, and what we still need to do for GSoC 2018 and its follow-ups. I'll start the screen share right now. Do you see my screen?
Not right now.
And what about now?
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, probably my laptop just hangs a bit. Okay, so I present to everyone so that it also appears in YouTube. Okay, so we have a meeting notes document. Everybody should have access to that. I've pasted the link in the GSoC Gitter chat, and there is also a channel for the participant link, just in case somebody wants to join. So we have 3 topics in our agenda. So action items, and then what we discussed previously. So we have Jeff, Pierce, Tracy, Miranda, and Supun, Christine, Oleg, and Lloyd on the call, right? So we don't have anybody else. Okay, I'm terrible at making notes, so please feel free to edit it in parallel if something needed. Let's start from the action items. So the first one was to me and Tracy to come up with a proposal how we integrate all the activities on the Jenkins IO website. I believe it's still to do. At least we didn't discuss it.
Yeah, no progress from our side.
Okay. Then next one, create individual summary blog posts for the Mentor Summit. So Martin's one was posted. My one, I haven't published it yet because it was less than 1 week from Martin's. And what about you, Jeff?
Yeah, so I created mine, but I haven't published it yet. I was waiting for the link to the one on Jenkins IO, which was probably done quite a while ago. So I think I can publish it now.
Yeah. Yeah, so you can just publish it, or if you prefer to publish it on your personal blog, it's something you can do.
Which do you think is better? I don't get very much traction on my personal blog, so maybe it would be better to publish it on Jenkins IO.
Well, we will make sure to repost you in Twitter, Facebook, and
okay.
So it's generally your decision where you want to publish it. So if you prefer Jenkins IO, it's also fine.
I'll go ahead and do it on my personal blog then.
Okay. Yes. So as you wish. Just once you publish it, send us a link in the Gitter so that we can promote it.
All right.
And yeah, I'm generally behind all my tasks. I'm trying to catch up, but it takes a while. Regarding GSoC 2019 skeleton, so actually this task is kind of done. So what we have now on the GSoC website, we have a GSoC 2019 page. There are project IDs. There is a pending pull request from me to somehow refactor it and to have metadata. So GitHub, Jenkins Infra, Jenkins IO. So actually it's here, it fails, I'm not sure why. But yeah, once we do that, we will have a revamped project IDs page. So the page will be small, but we will have pages for each project. And there will be some metadata, so later we can create search links or whatever other features if we need. So as an example, each project is defined in a YAML file, just not YAML ASCII doc, but there is YAML metadata like skills, mentors, etc. and we will be also putting newbie-friendly issues there and maybe keywords. So it's something TBD, but yeah, it's in the project, in process. Regarding the rest, we also there was a pull request from Lloyd about adding schedule. So currently, if you take a look at the subproject Google Summer of Code, I believe there is also a 2019 page. So there should be a 2019 schedule, right? Yeah, this one. So we started putting some information there. Yeah, we will need to clarify that, but at least skeleton is here. And we need to proceed with it. Regarding the GSoC templates, so I have some update. Martin actually has completed that. So there are templates in Google Doc. There is ongoing discussion between Martin, Lloyd, and all other participants in the chat about how it has to be addressed. Because the original plan was to have Google Docs. Then yeah, we have a question about removal of Google Docs, and since we don't have Jsoc or whatever, we cannot really keep them in the safe place. So we have two options on the table. One is keeping it in the wiki, and another one is just keeping it on Jenkins IO, which is the current state. So my question to participants would be about your preferences.
Yeah, my preference, I mentioned that in the GitHub chat.
So your preference is Hello, I don't hear you.
I said my preference is Google Doc.
I
mentioned that at GitHub chat, and then when the final authoritative proposals that we send to Google, that will be published on Jenkins IO via ASCII docs, so they can't be changed.
Yeah, right.
But for the initial document creation, revisions, and comments, I think it's more effective using Google Doc.
Yeah, that's for sure. So for us, there was two questions. One is proposals by mentors, and keeping Google Doc there is perfectly fine, or just asking them to propose a pull request, whatever they prefer. And another question for us is about student comments. So one of the issues we had in the previous years, that when you just put project ID on Jenkins IO website, something like that, there is no clear way how to comment on that. Our suggestion was to go to the developer mailing list, but it wasn't really comfortable. And yeah, Google Doc Link is one of the approaches we wanted to use, but yeah, it's not clear whether we still want to go forward with it. Unfortunately, there is no Martin on the call. So probably we should park it for now, but yeah, it's still an open question. Tracy, how do you approach it outreach, by the way?
Yeah, always. But then for the actual submissions, you have to use the outreach as an online place to enter the project, so all the details stay on their website in a fixed format. But I don't know if going forward, yeah, we haven't really thought through saving those ideas for the next round yet, so probably learn something off sync with what you're doing.
So generally, you use mostly Gitter now.
Sorry?
you use Gitter for the discussions.
Yes, for discussion, there's Gitter. The Outreach also has its own chat thing called Zulip, which they're trying out this year. So we'll see, and that's to help mentors across different projects to communicate. So I can let you know how that goes. Not much evidence of, well, actually, I don't know what's happening yet. It's just been set up for the first year, and the program hasn't started yet. So let's see.
So it's outreach in general.
Yeah.
Something like that. So yeah, personally, I'm pretty fine with mailing lists and Gitter. So if we prefer to stay with such approach this year, I would be fine. So without Confluence overheads. One of the things which may help us, actually, we now have special interest groups. And yeah, what I plan to do, that we will be having SIG links, so that particular discussions can go to the special interest mailing list instead of the Jenkins developer mailing list. It may also help a bit to detach discussions, which was one of the main issues. Because, yeah, one problem that we sometimes have something like 5 students asking about the same project. They start different threads, and it's a pain. That's why Martin raised this question, and that's why we came up to Google Doc proposal. But yeah, I'm not sure we can discuss it more right now without Martin. So. Okay. Let's finish with other action items. Then putting 2019 tasks, actually we had a sync up with Martin, and we have created an epic with some top-level tasks here. These are not all the tasks we need to consider, but at least we have this epic. So yeah, I believe it's here. I'll just put a link so that we don't forget about it. 2019 tasks. And then org admin checklist, it's work in progress. I still need to submit it, so let's make sure that I submit it by the next meeting. Because yeah, there is already some discussion with Lloyd about the schedule, so that we do not duplicate the information. And yeah, I'll make sure to do that. I'd like to request permissions for events in Jira for GSoC admins. It's still to do, because yeah, we still don't have a full list of GSoC admins for this year. It's to be decided. I still didn't get an answer from Steven Christo whether he's interested. Yeah, then this item is done. So Wutuan has published his blog post. It was retweeted. Yeah, I can try to find that. And this one is done. So effectively, we proceed with weekly meetings, at least for now, while we prepare to everything. Yeah, this meeting is 1 hour, but if we have less topics to discuss, we can just drop early. Probably not a case for today, but maybe for the next meetings. Okay, GSoC 2018 leftovers. Should we discuss it now, or should we postpone it? So who is interested in this topic?
From the scheduling perspective, just are we all done with shipping swag?
No. So we haven't even started in general, because yeah, it was behind traveling, etc. I have a list of deliveries, but I haven't done it yet. So Swag delivery is one of the technical debt topics, and we should do it ASAP, of course. And another one which is left over is JEP for Jsoc budgeting. So the story behind it that we have JEP, which would allow us to manage the budget without waiting for governance board approval for any action, like sending Schwag, etc. So there is JEP for that, and I'm still waiting for the feedback from BDFL. I pinged KK 2 or 3 weeks ago, no response so far. But yeah, I'm not sure how much is the blockade for this year. We do not expect much spendings till June, I believe. But yeah, it's still something we need to get over the fence. And we need feedback. So yeah, these are two major items we have in the list from the previous year. And as far as I can tell, we don't have anything else. Am I missing something? Okay, GSoC 2019. So our current state is that there was an announcement from Google Summer of Code. So now we have official program Summer of Code 2019. So now we have official timeline which has been posted and which we can refer to. So one of the interesting things that this year application deadline is February 8th. So last year they moved GSoC a bit, so everything started a bit earlier. And we needed to, so for example, application deadline was something like January 15th, and then final GSoC phase was mid-August. So it was something complicated for us, and it seems they moved it back because there was such feedback at the GSoC Mentor Summit. So now we are good, and one of the reasons why we are good that application deadline happens after FOSDEM. So it means that we will have an opportunity to discuss Jsoc at FOSDEM. There is usually a hackathon, and we can get some bits like documentation, etc., over the fence, like we used to do in previous years. But yeah, I'm not sure who is going to FOSDEM this year.
I'll probably be there. So usually Jenkins project organizes hackathons there, and yeah, it was one of the options. But yeah, I'm not sure about this year because I'm not sure I will be able to come. Yeah, I think February 4th we're likely to have a Jenkins community, probably hackathon.
Right. Yeah.
Anyone else going to be there?
So I believe everybody else on the call is from United States, and Supun is from Asia, so probably no.
Okay.
But if you have similar events in your nearby your location, yeah, if you can go there, if you can present Jenkins, if you're interested to talk about that, it's something we will definitely appreciate. So, for example, there is Scale in United States. I'm not sure whether it happens on winter this year as well, I guess. And yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, so yeah, probably FOSDEM isn't the option for us this year. Previously, all org admins were going to FOSDEM, so it was more convenient. Okay. not this year. And actually, it would be good for us to apply earlier. Start on January 15th. So my proposal would be to actually target this date as much as possible. And since we have all templates, we have samples from previous years, it shouldn't be a big deal to apply. The thing we really need right now is project IDs. Regarding project IDs, what we have now, so we have 5 project IDs on the website. We have pending project IDs, so 3 project IDs pending right now. They were blocked because we were reworking the project ID side. So the project IDs we have right now is promoted builds equivalent for pipeline. Then we have one ID is about still agent, slave to agent cleanup. It's something we agreed to it this year. I'm not sure whether we still want to do it, Tracy, but yeah, maybe we should post a project idea if there are mentors who may be interested. And then we have one is support of deployment environments. And traceability. I'm working with a submitter, and last but not least is Andrei Falco. It was something for Docker, right? Yeah, I'm just missing the page.
Yeah, it's for Docker integration.
Yeah. So yeah, this. So with that, we may have something like 9 project IDs, which probably a decent starting point. But what we need to do is we need to go to special interest groups and ask for project IDs there. So, for example, as a leader of Platform SIG, I'll try to get at least 1 project from there. Is everybody familiar with special interest groups?
Yeah.
Okay, so generally it's here, but actually the specifics of Jenkins is that not all sub-projects have SIGs right now. Sub-projects. So in addition to SIGs, we also have a list of projects here. And actually, if we can get some project IDs from active projects, it's something which could help us a lot because we can start from project IDs. So ideally, we need to get to something like 20 plus project IDs. And we need to work with the community on that. And it leads us to several action items. So we need to announce Jsoc on our side. I forgot about one idea. Just a second. Announce Jsoc on our side. So it would be a blog post plus a developer list announcements and go to SIG meetings and invite people. So something like that. More. Okay. So, by the way, is anybody on the call interested to propose his own project idea?
Sometimes it's hard to think of things on the spot, but we'll make sure to edit the doc.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, generally you can just start preparing a template. So since Martin is on the call, he may be able to just paste a link to the template. And yeah, it's pretty much the same as previous year. So you can just take something here and what we expect in addition to what we had before with project ideas is links to newbie-friendly issues around your project, so that whomever is interested in your project proposal may try get something done before the application. The rest is exactly similar like we had in the previous year. Okay, so we still have some proposals around. So we will likely remove Jenkins acceptance test harness from this year because we need mentors for that in order to do that. And the EDA plugins will stay, role strategy will stay, and the cloud features will stay. Okay, thanks, Martin. Okay. But yeah, effectively, project ideas is the only big thing we need to do right now till the end of December, because the rest is fine. We just we just make a proposal and we have all templates, so it's not a big deal. We need to work with potential mentors.
So do project ideas need to come hand in hand with mentors?
Technically, yes. So if you have a project idea, it's still nice to get it somehow recorded.
Yeah.
But yeah, what we need to do when we post project idea on the website, we need at least one mentor. So there is at least one contact person, so that everybody interested can ask questions. But if you have a project ID without a mentor, then probably we should talk about posting it somehow.
Okay.
So for example, I have one project ID from the previous year is about accessibility of Jenkins web UI. For example, colorblind mode, just to be specific. Yeah, I have project idea. Probably it's even a better fit for outreach, but even for Jsoc, it's something considerable. But we really need mentors in order to pull this idea off. But if we can do that, it would be perfect.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you have some such ideas in mind, probably if you write up a description, it would be still really helpful. Because yeah, we can have a shared pool of ideas for Jsoc and outreach.
Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah, there is not much difference in the terms of project ideas, descriptions, etc. And yeah, we can create a pool of such ideas so that we can extend more. So yeah, you may see that there is actually a lot more of project ideas here already created by Martin. Okay. So, and yeah, this is actually a good action item. So create pool of project ideas, create shared pool of project ideas. Okay, does it make sense? So yeah, I'm not sure whether Rick is on the call. He's not.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, so you can just describe your idea here.
I just read.
Yeah, I just see another Mr. Jenkins, so I didn't recognize you initially. Okay, so yeah, if you want to edit, just edit to the list. And yeah, I definitely know that Owen McKagan is looking for maintainer for the GitLab plugin. So maybe it could be somehow aligned. So is it something you would be interested to lead?
Sorry?
Would you be interested to mentor this project idea?
Oh, okay. I'd like to be.
Okay, yeah. Maybe we could also find something specific to Chinese localization SIG. So yeah. For example, if you have project IDs, it doesn't have to be only code. So we are still interested in code because it's Google Summer of Code. But for example, if you want to create frameworks, if you want to create engines for Chinese website, it's still something we could organize. And the same for Jenkins infrastructure. There is a lot of things we could do there. So, and Jsoc, yeah, we can take any of the services if needed. So yeah, over the next months, we should just reach out to people and ask them as much as possible to work on to propose project ideas. And yeah, if we get to 20 to 30, it would be a great advantage for us because the count matters in this case, especially the count of really good project ideas which we can be taken by students. Okay, any questions?
I have a question, and sorry I'm late. My question is, have you already talked about reaching out to the different SIGs?
Yes.
I'll catch up.
Yeah, so I'm not sure how we split this task across org admins, so which would be really nice to load balance it. So for example, we can create tasks for each SIG or for each sub project and assign it to org admin or maybe to somebody who is interested to volunteer and do that. Yeah, would it be okay if we follow this approach?
Yeah, I'm sure. Yes, I want to reach out to the SIGs, and we can load share and each pick our SIG. But there's only 5 SIGs, right?
There is 5 SIGs, and there are sub-projects which are not special interest groups. For example, Jenkins I, configuration as code, the infrastructure, they have regular meetings, they have a mailing list, they have charts, so they look like SIGs, smell like SIGs, but they are not SIGs. But for us, it doesn't matter. So we still can reach out to them.
Okay.
Yeah, so whatever opportunity we have to get mentors involved is something we could try to do. And yeah, why not?
Is there a list of how to reach them somewhere?
Okay, just yeah, I already screen shared it briefly. So yeah, if you go to the Jenkins site, there are do you see my screen now?
Yeah.
Yeah. So for example, Jenkins I, if you go here, there is a link to the Slack channel, for example. So we can use these Slacks. I'm not sure whether they have mailing list, but yeah, there is, for example, a meeting tomorrow, so somebody can just join and participate, especially if you're interested in Jenkins I. But yeah, probably it makes sense to start from chats and Slack before going to the meeting, so that there is some discussion happening before. Pretty much the same about, for example, configuration as code. There is a Gitter chat, which is really active now. For infrastructure, there is IRC chat. You can try asking there, or there is mailing list. So depending on the project, the approach may be different.
Okay. Do you want to talk about splitting the work splitting the reaching to SIGs now, or you want to take it offline?
As you wish. So we have some time, so we can do it now, unless there is other agenda topics.
I'm fine doing it now.
So, any other topics? Jeff, Christian, Lovett, Spawn, Tracy?
Not really. Is there a good time for us to go and talk to the SIGs, and maybe so we don't all go into two their different meetings and pitch it twice?
So yeah, that's why we can load balance it.
Yeah.
So for example, SIG, let's say SIG project mapping. It starts from SIG, so it's platform, cloud native, then Chinese localization. So yeah, Jsoc and pipeline outrank. So my question to you, would we like to have a specific Jsoc project for the Jsoc special interest group? Probably no.
What?
I don't think we need one. That'd be pretty funny though.
Yeah, it would be interesting to find something, but yeah, I also have nothing from the top of my head. And yeah, then,
I was going to mention, I think Google is also starting a new, it's like GSoC for technical writers.
Yeah,
but that's something in the area where that might help for the GSoC activities, but I don't think we're ready to take that on right now.
Well, we are going to take that on, but even Google isn't ready to do it right now. So as we discussed in the previous meeting, Google season of documentation is something under the discussion. And we have Jenkins project contributors who are specifically focused on the documentation. So I have my action item to get it organized. But yeah, generally it's an orthogonal thing. So it may be happening within GSoC SIG, but it's widely to be discussed. Even last communication I've heard from Google that probably it won't be managed by Google's community team because, open source team, because yeah, they have a bit different focus for season of documentation. So right now it's out of the scope. But yeah, I will do some follow-ups, so be sure we apply. And I've already added Jenkins project to the list of projects interested in Google season of documentation. Okay, I'm back to 6. So, for example, we have Rick on the call, so probably Rick is the best contact to reach out to Chinese localization. I guess so. For me, it's the same for platform special interest group. And now we have pipeline authoring. It's not a special interest group, Martin.
Sorry.
Yeah, we'll get to it. So
Okay.
who does want to talk to cloud native Jenkins SIG?
Is that cloud native same thing as Jenkins X?
Yes and no.
No. I mean,
yeah, so right now, Jenkins X is not a part of cloud native special interest groups. I believe it may happen, it may change soon because there were discussions at the Contributor Summit in the United States about them joining the project, but so far, no. So these are orthogonal things. But yeah, obviously there is a lot of communication. So yeah, okay. I'll keep it separate for now. So,
yeah, I'll reach out to Jenkins X because I recently joined their Slack channel, but I need to find out when their hangouts and so on are. I think James did make show interest to Martin. I don't know whether they're ready to take on mentorship or not, but I can reach out to Jenkins X.
Okay. So about Cloud Native Jenkins.
I don't know.
guess,
oh, sorry.
I was going to say I could take them, but if you want to, that's okay too.
Well, as you wish. If you want to do that, just go forward, and yeah, I can also help. Needed. But yeah, if you want, I'll just leave it to you, so you drive it, and I'll help if needed, because I'm a member of the SIG.
Yeah, I think I am technically too, but I haven't joined many of the meetings.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, maybe we can just do it as is. So generally, you can start from the mailing list and from the Gitter chat. So the Gitter chat is here, for example. You can just join and bug people. I'm not sure how many people we have right now here, but yeah, it's still something which we may utilize, at least getting some visibility. So pipeline authoring. Christian, would you be interested?
I can help with that one, or I know a couple of people on the Evergreen group. I was like, I can help out with that one too.
Okay.
But
yeah, so if you can help with that, it would be really helpful. So for pipeline authoring, I was already talking about some projects at the inaugural meeting of pipeline authoring SIG. So we have, just a second. So we have promoted builds equivalent for pipeline, which I'll submit. There is also pipeline doc, documentation generator.
And they even mentioned that was something they were looking for. So I could definitely think that they're going to get behind.
Yeah, right. So the main problem with this project that probably I'm not ready to commit to mentor it right now. But yeah, not sure.
I think there's already a project proposal related to documentation that Kristen and I kind of started talking about last year. Yes.
Yep. Yeah, right. So yeah, if you can somehow rework, so why we didn't get much traction with this project last year is because it wasn't much about code. So if we can adjust it so it's a coding project, then it's totally eligible for Google Summer of Code. And actually, this thing may be one of opportunities.
Okay, I'll kind of beef up the part about how there is code involved. It's just maybe it wasn't as apparent to the in the project proposal or to anyone who might have been interested. If they were worried, they'd just be writing documentation because it's there. But
yeah, right. Cool. So what else we have? Configuration as code. Actually, I wanted to talk to Evelina about it today, but she was unable to attend the daily meeting. But yeah, I could just sync up with Evelina, and maybe we could get something organized there.
Okay, I was interested as well in this one.
Okay, so.
But
okay, so just take it. It's perfectly fine with me.
Okay.
Okay, that's it. So what else do we have? Infrastructure.
I had an infrastructure idea the other day.
Which one?
Oh boy, it's on it's either on the Gitter chat or on IRC. Oh, it's the update center. Daniel Beck keeps telling us that the update center is a, okay, I'm gonna quote him. He says the design is shitty, and I replied back saying, well, would you like to have help?
Yep.
And the first reflex, the first response we get from people when we offer help is that they don't have time to spend on someone who wants to help them. So I was trying to convince him that 4 hours a week, 5 hours a week of mentoring could solve his update center problems.
Well,
if it's but
I
don't know.
As a leader of security team, and he has a lot of other things. So yeah, I understand that it may be difficult for him to dedicate even a few hours sometimes on the consistent basis. One of the ideas I can offer to you, recently we have hosted Jsop on the Jenkins I organization. It's actually embedded update site, which is a kind of standalone project. It's an update center generator. And if you don't want to mess with infrastructure due to whatever reasons, so it would be one of the options you may want to consider if you want to do something standalone, for example. But yeah, of course, if you're interested to work on something within infrastructure, you may need to talk to Daniel about that, and maybe to Olivier, who now leads many infrastructure efforts.
Okay, I think I met him at the Olivier. I met him at the Hack House, right?
Yes.
He was there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I can approach Olivier with that.
Okay.
See if he'd be interested.
Yeah, so yeah, maybe it makes sense. I'm not sure, but yeah, it's worth trying anyway. And yeah, then what else do we have? If we take a look at Jenkins IO, so sub-projects, there is remoting. Well, we did a good project this year, which we could continue. So actually, I wanted to discuss with Wutuan whether he wants to somehow organize a follow-up projects for that. So it's something I will do, I believe. So it's remoting, maybe together with Supun. But yeah, let's see. Then regarding other projects, we have Blue Ocean. I'm not sure. And yeah, I believe that's it from the list. So I tried reaching out to Blue Ocean contributors multiple times. Maybe it makes sense to at least ask in the chat. But yeah, I'm not sure how effective it will be. But does anybody want to try something in this area?
I don't use Blue Ocean, so it's not something that I know, but asking for reaching out to them to see if they would be interested in participating in Jsoc is
Okay.
something I can do, but I won't have many ideas for them.
Mm-hmm. Well, they started working on extensibility recently. So now it may be quite natural, for example, if we take code coverage plugins story, if Blue Ocean extensibility is available, then probably adding a project to have a coverage integration for Blue Ocean and something like that. But yeah, it still needs discussion because I'm not sure what's the state and what are the plans of this sub-project.
Okay, yeah, maybe I'm not the best person.
Okay, so let's park it for a while. So I'll ask around and understand whether it makes sense to push in this area at all. So yeah, I'll just self-assign it. And yeah, by the way, there is other big active projects. So if you see a plugin or if you know that there is some activity in a particular group, you can just go there, offer something. So just in case you have any ideas, reaching out to people directly is really nice. And if you want to do that, just put something here so that we know that you're going to reach the particular people, and we can also synchronize. Okay.
Okay.
So, any other topics for today? Because yeah, we're running over time a bit. Yeah, we spent some time on setting up the recording, but yeah.
There are some guidelines in the Jira tasks. Do they have? Are people going to be taking ownership for them, like the ones for the mentors and the students? I'm asking because I don't like for me not having been a student or a mentor. I'm not sure if I can write out the guidelines, but if others who have been mentors and students, maybe it's easier for them to write out the guidelines.
Yep. So if you see such tasks, I believe that goal for this week for us is to just get the pending changes for the site and the project ideas framework ready. And then let's talk about mentor and student guidelines next week, because yeah, we have something to do there definitely, but yeah, maybe we'll have more bandwidth to discuss it.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, so now thanks, Martin, for scheduling weekly meetings. So then we meet weekly, and yeah, let's try to make the things rolling.
Is it too early for you, Jeff?
No, not at all. I get up normally about 5 a.m. and it's just 6 a.m. my time, so it's perfect.
Okay.
Okay. So I guess that's it. And yeah, let's sync up in 1 week. So thanks to everybody for the interest, and let's try to get project ideas on the table. Okay.
Thanks,
Okay.
everyone.
Thank you, Oleg.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.